ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Monday, June 1st, new month, new episode of The Drive. Welcome in. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, it's brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. We do that every day at 304-396-TALK. Again, that's 304-396-8255. We've got a lot to get into today. Looking forward to hearing from you as well as we get started with your week. Just kind of a programming note. Next week, we're going to be off. We've got state baseball tournament coming from Jack Cook Field. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. We've got representatives from the WVSSAC tentatively scheduled, so we're going to talk to them tomorrow about the event. And, of course, we're going to talk to you throughout the entirety of the show. And, again, that's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So the one thing I think we just have to get into right away is that Marshall's now looking for a new swimming and diving coach. The national search, according to the release, will begin immediately to find a replacement for now former head coach Ian Walsh. So Walsh resigns. He says in the release that came out earlier today from Marshall, what an honor and privilege it has been to lead this program and be part of this amazing community. He added, our family has created so many wonderful memories we will carry for the rest of our lives. I'm grateful for Marshall's administration taking the chance on a young assistant coach 9 years ago. What a journey it has been. I have appreciated all the support from the Marshall leadership over the years. So a national search will begin, according to A.D. Harrison, immediately to find his replacement. Now, I'm interested to see how this goes, and I'll circle back to that in a second, because after this comes out, Pitt has hired Ian Walsh to coach the swim team. That was quick, right? I think this had to be in the works for a little while, to be fair. So here's a guy who is the head coach at Marshall, the swim program. It's going to be dissolved, and then the student athletes fire back and say, hey, look, no, you're taking opportunity away from us. And so Marshall comes to a conclusion that, okay, we can't fight this. We're going to have to reinstate the swim and dive program. And now you have a program that you're trying to figure out how you spend money for, because that was the argument, right? And I can't get into all the details of financials. But you go from, we have a swim program, to we're going to dissolve this program. We're going to invest more in women's opportunities. We're going to create stunt, but we're going to take our revenue and go elsewhere because we think it's going to be a better use of that revenue, to Title IX. That's an issue real quick. Marshall decides, okay, we don't want to be on the losing end of this argument and set a precedent, so we'll bring swim and dive back. And I think that at that point, people were looking for landing places. Head coach, obviously, not sure what his future looks like at Marshall University, until the decision was rendered that the team would be coming back. And so now he's going to be at Pitt as the swimming coach. They've got an interesting situation. They have a director of swimming and diving. So they're going to have a program in which they have a swimming coach and a diving coach, because they have swimming teams and diving teams, and they're hiring Ian to come in and be the swim coach. I mean, for me, good on him. If this is a good opportunity for him, if this is a better opportunity for his family, for his life, then all means you have to take that. And I wouldn't feel bad for the guy. Honestly, I wouldn't feel bad for the guy at all. If, after everything he's gone through, he's like, I got to take care of myself. I wouldn't feel one bit of anything other than, hey, good luck, coach. It was quoted that Ian had gone through a lot of adversity. This is a quote that came out today. What he has accomplished at Marshall speaks for itself, but the grace, professionalism, and integrity he demonstrated through adversity were equally impressive. Ian knows how to make athletes faster because he has done it at the highest levels of our sport. More importantly, he knows how to lead with character, purpose, and integrity. Alan Green, athletic director at Pitt, making this hire today for Pitt. So Marshall now has to find a new coach for swim and dive. How do you do that? You got to obviously fill the position. And there will be somebody who will take the position and go, okay, I think I can do something here. But what's the candidate pool will look like. And I'm just off the top of my head, because you go through a lot of turbulence with an athletic department that's in its mind trying to do two things: trying to make the budget work, and at the same time trying to provide opportunities for female student athletes. And the earlier conclusion was, we can't, at a competitive level, we can't support swimming and diving. We can't do it. But we can, for a fraction of the cost, we can come up with the funds to support stunt, which is a fast-growing program, and this will give more female student athletes an opportunity. The problem came that you're taking away female opportunities. You're taking that I think that ends. I don't have to go any further. That's the statement right there. The problem was you were taking away opportunities for female student athletes. And that's where the turbulence began. And the swimming and diving community, the players, the swimmers, the divers, the participants, everyone that was involved, put up a strong fight, and the decision was reversed. So now you lose your coach, and I'm curious, will there be transfer portal moves here in the future? What's going to happen? Because a lot of these student athletes were loyal to the coach. Sometimes you're more loyal to the coach than you are the university. That's just a reality. I don't think that is anything that shocks anyone at this moment. There are people, they come to your university. You're loyal. You graduated from Marshall, so you're loyal to Marshall. You're Marshall through and through. There are people who come in, and they are student athletes there because the coach. And once the coach is gone, they're gone. So if a coach leaves, a lot of players go with them. A lot of people stay, but a lot go. So I'm kind of curious what the program's going to look like after the fact. You know, we're going to see student athletes say, okay, we fought here to keep this thing going. We're staying, or I'm out with my coach. What's going to happen here? That's where I'm at right now. I'm curious, to say the least. So we're going to open up the text line for you, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And again, if you look at this from the surface, Marshall University makes the decision to dissolve the swim and dive team. Basically, we're no longer sponsoring this. Okay, there's been such an outrage, and we don't want to set a precedent. We don't want to go into court, spend a lot of money in court, and lose this thing. So we're just going to concede, and we're going to bring swimming and diving back. Community spoke. We're going to keep this alive to your coach leaves. Goes through a lot of adversity, and then he leaves because at one point he probably didn't think, okay, I don't have a job. What am I coaching? I don't have a job. So you obviously put those feelers out. Okay, hey, are there any places I can go? Is there a landing place for me? And I don't know when that process began, if it was immediate or if it was, gradual. And I understand, because if you don't feel like the ground you're standing on is secure, you're going to start looking. And after the program was announced to be, shut down, you got to start looking. And then you get an offer from an ACC school. You get an opportunity to go to Pittsburgh. You get an opportunity to coach on a higher level, at a higher level, on a bigger stage, right? And you probably had mixed feelings about it. One hand, you've been trying to build this program, and it was taken away, and then it comes back. But at that point, where are you at right now? And honestly, maybe the next coach comes in is probably the best coach to come in, because you're starting fresh. I mean, there's nothing there. It's going to be a hire from the current athletic director. So this is not going to be, old coach under new AD. It's going to be, this is my hire, this is my person. And so I want my person to be a good hire. I mean, that's one thing. When you hire someone, you're the athletic director. You want your hire to be good, because you get judged on your hires. You could have a string of successes, and the higher profile the job is, and if it goes south, that looks bad on you. You hire a football coach and it's a bad hire, you look at the athletic director. What were you thinking? You make a good hire in some of the other programs, you can bank on that. But we might see a little bit more support now for swim and dive, because you got a fresh start. It's basically going to be a hire that the athletic director is going to make, and you You're not hiring someone just to fill the position. You got to make an effort at this now. You shut this program down as an athletic department, as a university, and then you brought it back. So you can't just phone this one in. So this might be a blessing in disguise for the next person that comes in, because you're definitely going to get a lot of renewed interest. You're going to get the attention you need to make this thing go, because you don't want to look bad after everything you've gone through. But at the same time, how challenging is that hire going to be, bringing someone in? Texture says, Paul, this is a good move on part of Coach Walsh, and I can't see anything that makes the job attractive. Marshall reinstated the program because, by their own admission, they could win the challenge from the students, or they couldn't win the challenge from the students. Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to say. I get it. Text continues, one would have to think, should Marshall discover some loophole where swim and dive could be eliminated, then they would do so. Marshall has bungled this from the start. Not when. Okay, yes, I get the second text. You're correct. You got it. Excellent. I appreciate it. So, texture saying Marshall reinstated the program because their own admission they could not win the challenge from the students. And so, if you're the students, you're fighting to keep your program, right? You're fighting, so you want to stay. I would think if you're challenging, hey, we're shutting the program down, and you're fighting to keep the program alive, then it looks bad on you if you leave. The coach, on the other hand, he's sort of collateral damage in all of this. And I'm not saying that's what this is, but he's the guy who had to tell the administration, okay, hey, if you're going to tell them now before they go to conference. Let's not hear about it secondhand. Let's be direct with them. So he was trying to help navigate the situation, and then he's out of a job. Basically, he's out of the coaching job, and so he's a free agent at the moment. And then all of a sudden, you get the okay, hey, we've got a program again. Okay, great. You probably already put the feelers out, and Pitt said, hey, would you be interested? And I don't think it's a bad move, as long as everyone parts with the understanding that, hey, we're thank you and good luck, because the university put a release out, that Ian resigned, and then Pitt hires him. So it wasn't one of those situations. I don't think that you're looking at this and going, hey, why are you doing this to us? I think you look at this and go, okay, completely understand. So that's an opportunity for you. Good luck. Our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. What do you think about this? Is this a foregone conclusion this is going to happen? Are you a little surprised by this? What does the athletic department need to do to ensure that the next person that comes in can get the job done, or to get the best possible person for this job, knowing that there's a quick little backstory? Oh, hey, by the way, the university tried to end the swimming and diving program before it got challenged. Yeah, how do you come into that situation knowing that that's at least hanging over this program just a little bit? We'll get your thoughts on that. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Save big on your landscaping project now at Menards. Whether you're installing a patio or a new retaining wall, Menards has the blocks you need to get the job done right. We carry the largest in-stock selection, ready to take home today. Stop in and get our 12-inch smooth patio block on sale now. Save big on concrete landscape blocks at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Summer starts here. It's Moses Auto Mall of Huntington 9th Street Live every Friday night in Huntington. Presented by Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Big Timber, and Country Boy Brewing. Friday, June 5th, it's the heavy hitters on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy 9th Street libations from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station, featuring Tito's, Milagro Tequila, Rebel Bourbon, High Noon, and Lucky One. The after-show party takes place at Jerk Riley's at Pullman Square. Mark your calendar for June 19th when 9th Street is dead, with Grateful Dead tunes from John Ingram's Dead Center. July 10th, enjoy the music of the Beatles with the Newbies. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 14th, sponsored by Wendy's, Huntington Beverage Center, Sods, Apex Tech, The Great Outdoors Marine, Village Caregiving, Thoroughbred Express Wash, the City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Network Arena, and Kendrick Communications.
The Summer Fun Passport is here. Sign up for this free passport and earn prizes all summer long. Go to the station's website or Facebook page, click the Summer Fun Passport, and register. That enters you into a 3-night trip to Myrtle Beach. Amp up the fun by visiting our participating local businesses. Check in on the Summer Fun Passport and you'll earn points to win more prizes. Check in at these great local businesses: Thoroughbred Express Car Wash, all locations; Heart in the Park, Buddy's All-American Barbecue, Cal's Tavern, The Red Caboose, Tudor's Biscuit World, the Paramount Theater Ashland, Gallipoli's First Fridays, Nice Street Live, Jerks Pullman Square, and Tailgaters Carryout. Sign up now. The Summer Fun Passport is free. Earn prizes all summer long. The Summer Fun Passport with Kindred Communications.
At home or at work, in the car or at the gym, there's nothing more convenient than the fast service and the quality products brought to you by Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee. If you're always on the go with family, friends, coworkers, and business associates, give Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee a chance. They have everything that you need, from filtration coolers, coffee for your work, at-home delivery, and 8-ounce, 10-ounce, and half-liter bottles, or by the pallet. Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee, where great taste just comes naturally. Visit us at tylermountainwater.com.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Peekaboo, peekaboo, smile.
Smile, buddy.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy. You know how boys are.
Or maybe he's teething. Oh, poor baby. I think his gums hurt.
Maybe he's just tired.
Or maybe his tummy hurts. He didn't eat that much.
Maybe he's not ticklish.
You think maybe he's scared of the dog?
Maybe he'll outgrow it. Maybe it's a phase. Maybe he just doesn't like smiling.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs or see a doctor today for an autism screening. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better. And it can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue with this Monday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've been discussing the resignation of Marshall's swim and dive coach Ian Walsh. He has accepted a position as the swimming coach with Pitt. Of course, the swim and dive program on the verge of non-existence before the courts were about ready to step in. There was going to be a case heard, Marshall University avoiding litigation, bringing the program back. But now looking for a new coach for the swim and dive program. Your thoughts at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, good luck hiring a new coach. This program is a dumpster fire. Appreciate the thoughts. Is it really a dumpster fire? I mean, on the reverse of that, you can't just brush the program aside. You had to bring it back as an athletic department. You had to walk back a decision that you're looking at how we're going to pay for this. Well, we're going to have to figure that out. And so you had to walk that decision back because it was going to be challenged. Title IX is real, and you're not usually going to be on the winning side when you subtract and then claim you're going to add. The guidance wasn't right when Marshall made that decision. The guidance was probably not on the best footing, to be fair. Because you look at that decision, like, we're taking this program away, but we're not going to take opportunities away from females. We're going to instead add this stunt program. We're going to hire a coach. We're going to have more roster spots, and we're going to be able to fund it. We already have most of the facilities and infrastructure we need. We can do this. It'll be a savings to the athletic department, and we can do more with what we have. The problem was, yes, you are adding opportunities for female student athletes, and that's a good thing. But on the flip side, you were taking opportunities away. You couldn't replace those opportunities. Those opportunities were going to be gone. Now you're honoring all your commitments, scholarship, financials. You're honoring all of that. That's fine. But these young ladies, they came to Marshall University in part to compete in swimming and diving, and they were going to be told you don't have a program to compete with anymore. And so a lot of them got together and said, no, we don't think this is right. We want to fight for our program. Won. And now their coach, who's probably the reason most of those young ladies are here to begin with, has taken a different position. And I don't blame him. I'm curious, will there be anyone that says, hey, I think I'm going to go with coach if there's a place for them? How many people from that team are going to look at the transfer portal now and go, hey, it's great, we got this program back, but my coach isn't here anymore. And that's going to be difficult. You're going to have to make a hire, and then you're going to have to retain the student athletes you have already. That's going to be the challenge right there, trying to retain the people you have. I would say, though, and this is just me, I would say that if you fought for this program to continue, you are one of those student athletes that fought for this program to continue, I think you owe it to this athletic department and this program to stay. I'm not trying to pitch you anything. I'm not trying to recruit you. I'm not telling you what to do, but I think you owe it to this program. If you're a student athlete at Marshall University on the swimming and diving team and you fought to keep this program alive, walking out the door is not the best look right now. You won. You won to keep this program. You fought for this program, and I think you should stick it out. And again, I don't know what the individual mindset of anyone's going to be, but I'm just throwing that out there right now. On the other hand, you've got a coach who has an opportunity to go somewhere, and anytime you have an opportunity to better yourself, I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. I mean, he had to start looking for what his next opportunity was the minute he was told that, hey, the swimming and diving program is no longer going to be a thing at Marshall University. So I get that completely. So we'll touch more on that subject. We went a little long, so I need to get the next break in, but that means plenty of time for you on the other side. Let's get that text line going. That's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More on this edition of Your Drive coming up on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Have you had your septic tank serviced lately? For a free-flowing system, it's vital to get your septic tank serviced every 3 to 5 years. Call One Way Septic today. Get hold of Chuck, 304-429-5218, or online at onewayseptic.com. One Way Septic offers septic services in West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio, both residential and commercial services. Septic tank pumping, old system repairs, grease trap cleaning, it's got to be One Way Septic. Phone 304-429-5218. Online at onewayseptic.com. The West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council and Lyona are building West Virginia. From the roads and bridges that move us today to the infrastructure that keeps the Mountain State competitive tomorrow. Lyona's more than 5,000 members across the region help grow local economies by earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes that strengthen our communities. Lyona builds West Virginia for good jobs, stronger communities, and a better future. Online at wvldc.org.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The Summer Fun Passport is here. Sign up now for this free passport and earn prizes all summer long. Head to the station's website or Facebook page. Click the Summer Fun Passport link and register. That enters you to win a 3-night trip to Myrtle Beach. Amp up the fun by visiting our participating local businesses. Check in on the Summer Fun Passport and you'll earn points to win more prizes. Check in with these businesses when you arrive. Jerks Pullman Square, Ichiban Hibachi Steakhouse, the Greater Huntington Parks and Recreation, Armory Steakhouse, Paramount Theater Ashland, Kel's Tavern, the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Gallipolis First Fridays, 9th Street Live, and Dog Dazzle. The Summer Fun Passport's brought to you by Tailgaters Carryout, Coons Corner Sip and Shop, and Kindred Communications. Get on this station's website, sign up for your free passport, and win all summer long with the Summer Fun Passport.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, it is Metro News Talk Line, 10:06, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Thanks for being a part of today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, we are brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. Thanks them to... You know what? We appreciate them for sponsoring the text line. That's 304-396-TALK. And again, you can join that anytime. 304-396-8255. We've got an off night with baseball. The Pirates got the win over the Twins yesterday, 9-3. Reds got the better of the Braves, 6-4. I'm always down with that. The Reds remain home tonight. They've got the Royals at 7-10. Red Sox got the better of the Guardians, 9-4. Baseball action from the Morgantown Regional on Sunday. WVU beat Kentucky 11-9. The Mountaineers score 5 runs in the top of the ninth to force a deciding game for the regional title. That's coming up at 6 o'clock. WVU stay alive. They eliminated Wake Forest from the regional by a 10-5 score. So it all comes down to this. Should be a fun one. Are you pulling for WVU or Kentucky? I know that's a loaded question in this part of the woods. That's a loaded question. You pulling for WVU? You want to see Kentucky win? If I know our illustrious news director Bill Cornwell, I know he's pulling for Kentucky. Just automatically, he's pulling for Kentucky there. But where are you at on this? Or is it a big no for you? I'll take those as well. And again, that text line one more time: 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. While we focused a lot on what's happening with Marshall today, looking for a new swimming and diving coach, a couple other things came out. We've got the times and the dates for the college football playoff. It all gets underway. Get the countdown going now. December 18th and 19th. First one is going to be December 18th, 8 p.m. That's going to be on ESPN. December 19th, we'll get 3 games. We'll get a game noon on ABC and ESPN, 3:30 p.m. on TNT, HBO Max, that combo. Same combo, 7:30 p.m. on the 19th. And then we get to the quarterfinals. We don't have the bowls just yet for the 3 time slots. The 4th time slot is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, and that's going to be December 30th, 7:30 p.m. The January 1st time slots, we don't have the bowls just yet. And, of course, the semifinals, January 14th and 15th. Orange Bowl, 7:30 p.m. on TNT. All-State Sugar Bowl, 7:30 p.m. on the 15th on ABC. And then, of course, we've got the championship game on January 25th. So you've got a huge spread between January 1st and the 14th and 15th there. That's the only thing I don't like about this. We got to wait 2 weeks. That's the only thing. It's just the complete spread here between, all right, you win this game, you got a couple weeks for the next game. And I get it, understand it, but if we bump this thing up to 16 or 24, I don't think we can have these kind of gaps, or at least I would not think so. Or maybe you're going to have to with the amount of games. I mean, we're just adding one more game. And I've got a feeling that most of the teams that are playing the extra games aren't going to make it to the championship anyway. Just got a feeling there. So that's the schedule for the college football playoff? Do you think this thing's going to go to 16, stay at 12, or maybe even make it to 24? That's going to be the big question. And, of course, closer to home, Marshall University starting to get the social medias going, working on what you need to do for home game number 1. I always find these things interesting. So if you don't pay attention to the social medias, and I know that's a lot of you, if you don't, here's the deal. Game theme number 1. It is the We Are Marshall game. You got to wear green, obviously. And there's going to be a rally towel giveaway. So wear green, game 1 versus Middle Tennessee. And I don't want to see the pink, okay? I'm just going to put that out there right now. I don't want to see the pink. It's June 1st. It's June 1st. You know the color now. I'm going to tell you every day leading up to that. Wear green. Don't wear the pink. Don't wear the herd pink. Put that away. Don't wear the white. The white can be the accent color. Wear the green, okay? Let's completely green this thing out. That's all I'm asking. If you wear white, I'm fine. Don't wear the pink. Can we do that? If you're a herd fan and these things matter to you, you got to wear the green. Straight up green with the white. No black, no pink, green. Kelly, preferably. Let's get back to the text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Here we go. Texters are rolling in. First up, UK all the way. Go Cats! I can't root for that team up north in any sport. All right, I appreciate the thought there. Let me ask, I try to stay objective as much as I possibly can. Should I be referring to the team up north as the team up north? Is that the proper designation, the team up north? I mean, I'd have to do it. I'll have to keep it for based on the rest of my my life here. I'm gonna have to keep it to this show. But on this show, should I just refer to them in all things, the team up north, or is there a different name that I can say over the air? I'm gonna let you guys work on that one for me. I'll let you go and tell me. But right now, nobody's rooting for that team up north in at least one household, UK all the way. Also, from the text line, stunt is an obvious low-cost means simply for meeting the numbers of Title IX. As a decades-long Marshall fan and a Big Green contributor, I'm insulted that Marshall thought we would not see through that lame attempt to replace swim and dive with stunt. Appreciate the text. Thank you. Maybe I should refocus a little bit in what I'm asking. As a contributor, I mean, you don't have to be a contributor to participate in this one, but someone who supports the athletic department through any financial donation, gift, support, do you feel that way? Do you feel insulted, or did you feel insulted that the university would do that, that the university would not try to come up with a way to increase the funds? Or did the university just get bad advice? Did the athletic department, did the president's office, did the board of governors, did those members just get really bad advice and ultimately acted on that advice, then got the backlash from the fans, from the supporters, and it was super loud? You can't deny that. It was really loud how bad a lot of people thought that decision was. And so instead of holding the ground, taking it to court to prove your case, instead you look at it and go, you know what? We can't win this. We possibly can't win this. If we're looking at new advice, we can't win this, so we gotta go back in on this. We got to do swimming. Hey, how did you take that? Not a member of the swimming diving program, not an alum of that program, not anyone that was directly connected with it, but just as a Marshall fan supporter, how did you take that as far as removing the program, adding stunt? Because the vibes I'm still getting, and again, this is not fully representative of Marshall's community, the fans as a whole. I'm not going to even go out on a limb and say that. But I'm getting mixed reaction to, okay, stunt, I'm not sure I'm on board with that, is the reaction I'm getting from a lot of people. There are going to be herd fans that will say, hey, I'm on board with that. And, of course, if you listen to Brad Smith, you listen to Marshall's athletic department, they're saying we are going to have the opportunity to attract people that maybe wouldn't have given Marshall a second thought, or maybe wouldn't have given Marshall anything. And now you have this, and that might entice more people to look at Marshall. And you get a big class at first team, and this thing does well, and then you bring more in. You're creating some fresh alum, right? Some new opportunities for Marshall University. And that includes parents. That includes traveling. And I know the cheerleading community. And stunt is not cheerleading. I'm going to have a hard time trying to tell you what it's stunt, what it really boils down to. But it has aspects of cheerleading in it, but those are two different things. But I know there are a lot of parents in this area, in this region, in this state. There are a lot of parents. They're into those competitions, and that's all right. That's okay to tap into that. That's fine. How much coverage will it get? There'll be some interest from the onset because hey, this is a new thing here. How many people are going to be texting me and calling me and wanting to talk stunt and discuss that? Yeah, that's going to be on you. You're going to direct me there. But at the same time, I don't know what ultimately the reaction is going to be once it's here. Texture says, Paul, I am like you. I want to see how many of the people that brought this suit leave because of the coach leaving in the swimming and diving program. I wonder if there will still be a program after all the dust settles. I think there'll be a program. I appreciate the text. I think there will be a program. I do have that thought in the back of my mind because, and I would have that thought if it was any program. When the coach leaves, there's going to be a slight exodus. Not as bad as football was when Coach Huff left. That went down a little different. And football, you're going to see those kind of turnover numbers. Not that bad, but you're going to see those kind of turnover numbers on a yearly basis, or at least you're hoping that you can cut that down. But if your coach leaves, you fight hard to save the program, save your program, and then your coach leaves, and I don't blame him. Absolutely not. I don't blame him because, again, you're the coach. We're not going to have a program for you to coach. We have a program for you. You're the coach again. And in between all of that, you're looking for your future. You're looking out for that. Like, what's my next step? What am I doing here? And you got to look at your options. And now Marshall reinstating the program, and you could have stayed. You could have continued to explore your options, and I think you make the best decision for yourself. But at the same time, can I also look at those student athletes and say, hey, well, you have to stay. You fought for this. You were about ready to go to court for this. And now you're leaving because your coach is leaving? You fought for this program. Or do I look at them and go, okay, you got to do what's best for you? I mean, ultimately, you have to look at this and go, if you have the opportunity and you think that's best for you, you have to go. But I will remind you that you fought hard to keep this program, and now you're not going to be part of its next chapter. I would just point that out. But for those that stay, hey, you know what? Let's make the best of the situation we can here. And that's my just unfiltered thoughts on that. You fought for this program. Now your coach leaves. Are you staying? Are you still in? Were you fighting for the program, or were you fighting for your coach? Were you fighting for yourself and your coach? And who's to say? I mean, it's not as if all of these student athletes are going to get in a pit, and you're not just going to swipe them all up and take them with you. I mean, you're not going to Southern Miss this thing. 304-396-TALK. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll wrap this one up with your text on today's edition of The Drive.
I'm with Jansen Williams, owner of Apex Tech. Jansen, why do businesses need IT support?
Because today every business depends on technology, from email and Wi-Fi to customer records and payments. Without good IT support, one cyber attack, outage, or computer problem can cost time, money, and customers.
Even small businesses?
Especially small businesses. Many hackers target companies that think they're too small to be noticed.
Every business needs IT services. Every business needs Apex Tech. Learn more at apextechwv.com.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Reyes Mexican Tanqueria and Cantina. Authentic flavors from Jalisco, Mexico. 234 3rd Avenue in Gallipolis, Ohio. And 218 General Hardinger Parkway in Middleport. The Arbors at Gallipolis, caring about you while caring for you.
Summer starts here. It's Moses Auto Mall of Huntington 9th Street Live every Friday night in Huntington. Presented by Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Big Timber, and Country Boy Brewing. Friday, June 5th, it's the heavy hitters on the Marshall OBGYN stage. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy 9th Street libations from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station, featuring Tito's, Milagro Tequila, Rebel Bourbon, High Noon, and Lucky One. The after-show party takes place at Jerk Riley's at Pullman Square. Mark your calendar for June 19th when 9th Street is dead with Grateful Dead tunes from John Ingram's Dead Center. July 10th, enjoy the music of the Beatles with the Newbies. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 14th. Sponsored by Wendy's, Huntington Beverage Center, Sods, Apex Tech, The Great Outdoors Marine, Village Caregiving, Thoroughbred Express Wash, the City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Network Arena, and Kendrick Communications.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
It's our final segment for today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We got a fun one for you tomorrow. We have the state baseball tournament coming up next week, and so we're going to carry all those games. I mean, every single game from that tournament. That'll start on Saturday, and that'll take you all the way to the following Saturday. In between all of that, we're not going to have a show. So I encourage you to be part of the show this week. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're going to have the executive director of the WVSSAC, Wayne Ryan, join us tomorrow on the program around 5:15 to talk a little bit more about the tournament. Of course, we already know it's coming to Huntington, putting on those final details of this tournament, making sure that everything is set, ready to go. What an opportunity that's going to be, not only for Marshall University, for the region as well. We've got four teams that are I could throw a rock at and hit right now. I'm not going to do that. But how about that? And, of course, we don't claim just to have a few teams. Everybody's our team. But we got Huntington High. I'm playing to the locals now. Apologize if I overlook your school. I'm playing to the locals. Huntington High. We've got Cabell Midland. We've got Spring Valley. We've got Huntington St. Joe. How about that? We got them all playing to the locals. Did I miss your team? If you're listening and I missed your team, tell me your team. We'll go for them as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You can find me on X as well, at Paul Swann. Love to hear from you there. And, of course, you can text us anytime. And if you miss anything from today's show, don't forget, we post those things. We do it on our podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Texter writes in and says, that's going to be great for local baseball, all the area teams. Welcome everyone to Huntington. All right, appreciate that. Yeah, we talked about that last week. I saw a few prominent local high school figures reminding their fans, be super cool with all the teams that are coming in. Be super cool. Be welcoming. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the Convention Bureau should give me an honorary I don't know. What do you get? I'm an honorary ambassador. I should be either the Chamber of Commerce or the Convention Bureau. I should be the honorary sports ambassador. I mean, do I really need that title? I mean, I think I already am the ambassador. I don't need a badge, do I? That's going to do it for this edition. Thank you for being a part of today here. Thanks for having some fun with us. I really look forward to it next few days since we're going to be off next week. So don't forget, anytime, podcast available, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get those podcasts, on X, at Paul Swann. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone. Back with you tomorrow here on The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.